All right, so our test moved from today until Monday so that we'd actually have a full class of time to do this. We've seen this. We did the experiments in class. We talked about parts of the whole. Maya is adding 6 grams of sugar to a bottle containing 14 grams of warm water. Yes, I know that when we put the sugar or the baking soda or the salt into the water and it quote unquote disappears, that there's a part of us that wants to say that the water or the salt or whatever else that dissolved is gone. However, when we watched the video, we noticed something. Will this let me do all of this stuff at one time? I guess let's find out. Yes, I know the water's on the outside of the cup. Deal with it. Now, we noticed when we watched the video that there were water molecules and if you remember when we dissolved salt, sugar, or whatever else, there were also those molecules in there as well, but they were like separate. They were kind of hanging out with the water molecules. Do you remember that? So it hasn't gone anywhere. It's still there, Finley. So Finley, let me ask you this. If I put 6 grams of sugar in a 14-gram bottle of warm water and the sugar looks like it disappears, what's the weight of the sugar and the water together? I mean, this is one of those, I know that we preach about showing your work, but I'm hoping you can do 14 and 6 in your head. If you can't, you need to show your work. I understand on here how someone could get 6 grams. I most definitely understand how someone could get 14 grams because you think that the sugar is gone. How would someone get 8, though? How did they come up with 8 as a misconception answer? How did they come up with that random 8? 14 minus 6 is what they're doing. They're kind of hoping that you mess up. I don't want you to mess up. But again, all right, number 1, done. Let's move it on. Number 2, still looking like a parts of the whole question, and it is. So, Jonathan, I got this balloon. It's 5 grams. I blow up the balloon, whack, and I pop it. I pick up all the pieces of the balloon, and I weigh it. What would the pieces weigh? $2.5. How'd you get that? You subtracted half of 5 to get to 2.5. So when we... Well, that is not what I want. I want the pen. Over here. So when we did our experiment, and I'm not gonna go too crazy. That's too big. Can I shrink that down a little bit? So again, we took the cup. We had all of those goldfish in the cup. Do you remember that? And we, very similar, we didn't blow them up and pop them, but we crushed them into teeny, tiny little pieces. Do you remember that? I mean, we spent forever crushing those up. If the first cup of goldfish weighed, I don't know, let's say 10 grams, what did the weight of the crushed goldfish weigh? Shh. Do you remember? You don't remember? So I help them out. We had the goldfish. We weighed it on the scale. It weighed 10 grams. We put our thumb in there and smushed them up into teeny tiny little pieces. Connor, what was the weight of the smushed up one? It stayed the same. Then we took Legos, right? I had the 4 Legos. I weighed them. The 4 Legos weighed 8 grams. When I took them apart and I put them on the scale together, what was their total weight, Ava? 8 grams. When I had the Play-Doh and we put the ball of Play-Doh on the scale, the ball of Play-Doh weighed 7 grams. And we broke it into little bitty pieces, but we put all of the pieces of that ball on there. Joanna, what did it weigh? No. weighed 7 grams because we learned that the pieces are equal to the whole. So if I have a balloon that weighs 5 grams, I blow it up and pop it, but I pick up all the pieces of the balloon, and then I weigh it. Sophia, it should weigh what? It should weigh 5 grams because the parts are equal to the whole. That's why we did all those experiments. That's why we took the time to do those. That's why we talked about that. Remember, even with that chocolate bar, you can most definitely take the Hershey bar and break it into the 12 pieces. Do all of the pieces weigh the same as the original bar? Yes. Don't make the mistake like I did, but can you run that through a cheese grater? Yes. Do all of those fine little shavings equal the whole? Yes. Can you melt all of that chocolate? Would it still equal the amount of the original candy bar? I'm not getting rid of any chocolate. I'm not gaining any chocolate. I'm just changing its shape or its state, and therefore it stays the same. So again, we got to be ready for those. Those are most definitely a big portion of the test that's coming up. If we struggle with that, maybe we can take some more time to work on those as time goes by. All right. Elsa, I guess she's tired of Frozen and stuff, is how to make a grilled ham and cheese sandwich. That sounds really good right now, too, especially from Fred's General Store. If you're ever at Fred's General Store, get their hot ham and cheese. It's good. Grilled ham and cheese sandwich. She takes 20 grams slice of cheese, 40 grams slice of ham, and 2 15-gram slices of bread. Now, I'm going to do this. I'm going to do it in red. You're going to tell me what Mr. Bullen does wrong, because I'm going to get the wrong answer, but I would almost guarantee this answer's on there. If it's not, it's a terribly worded question. So let's see here. 20. Whoa, that's not what I want. I want the pen to be red, not the pointer. In red, and stop pointing now. Stop. Goodness gracious. I don't have a clue what's going on here. It does not let me do anything. There we go. Oh my gosh. So 20 grams slice of cheese, 40 grams of sliced ham, 15 grams. I get 65, which is not should be on there. I'll definitely get an answer I put on there. Why is that? What did I do wrong? I did something wrong, and I'm not seeing my answer, but for you, I bet you eventually be like, forget it. 60's close enough to 65. That's the answer. What did I do wrong, Knox? What's my misconception? There are 2 15-gram slices of bread, so it should be 20, 40, 15, and 15, or 30 if you did it that way. Good? Any questions on that? Do you think you're going to see a question that has multi-steps on the test? The answer is yes. How do I know that? Yeah, I make the test. And also, I know they're going to do that to you at the end of the year, too. So, all right. Moving on to the next page. Oh, my goodness. This thing is driving me nuts. Here we go. A rock, a 100-kilogram rock, is broken into 5 smaller rocks. They take the rock, wham, they whack it with something, they break it to put the small rocks in a garden. What is the total mass of all 5 rocks together, Ellie? I have a 100-gram rock. I break it into 5 small rocks. So here's my big rock. I crack it into 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 small rocks. I weighed this, it's 100 kilograms. What would the weight of these together be? She says 100 kilograms. Give me a thumbs up if you agree. Parts of the whole would say that is 100% correct, wouldn't it? Parts of the whole would say she is 100% correct. And let's, oh my goodness, I keep clicking the wrong button. There we go. All right. It's not always super easy, Chloe. Sometimes they write these in really long words. So, I'll be honest with you. When I look at this one, I read the question and I say, how does a decrease in temperature turn water vapor back into a liquid? And I'm going to be honest with you, there's something in my brain that this is like, it's almost like in the Spider-Verse when everything's glitchy. That's what it feels like. Skip the question for a second. All right? Let's think about these 4 words. What is evaporation? What is evaporation? I'm talking to Chloe. So the water turns into it's a liquid, and then what does it turn into when the sun heats it up? So this is liquid to gas, and you said it's the sun heating things up, right? So this is adding heat. You agree with that? All right. What's precipitation? It's me and Chloe. Rain, sleet, snow, hail, right? That's when water falls back to the earth. That sounds nothing like what they're asking me in the question, but okay, whatever. What is transpiration? Again, they're not really sweating, but if you know what you mean by plant sweat, and I know what you mean, it's when plants lose water through their leaves. That's it. Last one is condensation. I know that we all know the rhyme. Condensation is cloud formation. That's fine, but describe the process of cloud formation. Just like Chloe, just me and Chloe on this. Vapor to liquid, you said lose heat, right? Now I go back to my question because the question was very weird. How does a decrease in temperature, that's losing heat, water vapor back into a liquid, which one of those 4 answers, you can't get it wrong if you do that. Now listen, I understand this. Josie's like, there's no way, Mr. Bullens, that I am answering all the answers to get the question right. Not on all of them, on some of them. I think that is a very vital test-taking strategy. Eliminate the ones that don't make sense. It's definitely not transpiration. It's definitely not precipitation. It's either evaporation or condensation, and then do your best. What do you need? You should be following along. We'll catch up to that in a minute. All right, we'll do number 6, and that might be about all the time I have for the video, which I don't want to do the entire thing on video anyway. So, yeah, click the right button that time. All right, so when I look at this question, it reads to my mind almost exactly like the last question, right? How does an increase in water temperature caused by the sun impact the water cycle? Oh my goodness gracious, right? Now listen, if you have just done all this work on the question before, you certainly don't have to do it all again. Plant sweat, rain, sleet, snow, hail. Neither one of those sound like the right thing, right? I mean, it's definitely not this. It's really not going to be this. So, condensation, we said is cloud formation. And you said it's losing heat. You've already written all this before. So it's not this. I already know it's not evaporation. Does the sun cause an increase in the temperature of water in evaporation, changing it from a liquid to a gas? That has to be the answer. Do you understand how we're supposed to use some of these test-taking strategies to do this? Yes. I'm telling you, there are plenty of people sitting in here right now that need to use these test-taking strategies. Some of you are able to sit there and kind of do some of this stuff in your head, and you are fine. Think about how you've been doing on your tests. Think about if this would help you. Take the extra time. You're not doing anything until everyone's finished anyway. And with 15 seconds left to go, smash the like button, subscribe, click the bell for notifications. And you are a real loser if you get Mr. Bull's notifications.